Hi everybody, this is Jody Luster and you're on Elevated Living at elevateme.org, and today we're going to continue our discussion about mindsets. And if you've been following this daily lift, then you know that we've talked about focus, vision, we've talked about making sure that you've got clarity, positivity, and being optimistic. And so you've got all these things. You've got optimism and positivity, you've got vision and clarity, and you got focus. And when you've got all those things, you should be decisive. So today we're going to talk about making decisions and being decisive. Sometimes that's very difficult for most of us to make a decision and stick with it, because sometimes making decisions can mean we're taking a big risk. And we need to be able, in our minds, to be okay with the risks we take. It's not that your risks are so dangerous that you just can't live with them. We don't want you to take risks like that. We want you to take calculated risks. We want you to use all of those tools for your mindset. Use the global intelligence that you've been learning and doing your strategic plan, and make sure that the risks you take are calculated. Make sure that you take the best risks. One of my mentors, John C. Maxwell, has talked about a book that he read that discusses, the waterline principle. If the risk is going to potentially sink the ship, if the worst case scenario happens, then that's not the risk you want to take. You want to take a risk that you can live with. A lot of us do things like change our occupations. Now, do you want to just leave your mortgage behind, leave your spouse behind, or and move to another country or another state with no support? And no, you're probably not going to do that, and I wouldn't suggest that you do. But sometimes, if you've got some support from a partner, from your family, and you know that you've got a skill that you can always fall back on, and at least break even if all else fails, then it's worth the risk. So we need to start making decisions, even if they mean they're going to be a little bit risky and they're going to take us outside of our comfort zone. So it's nothing wrong with making a good decision and sticking to your decisions. And we talked about some other things in our strategic planning. And one of the things that I think I've insinuated in making sure that you're doing that is being committed to your plan. So when you make a decision, you should be making a decision to be committed to that thing that you said, I'm going to do. And it's hard sometimes, and sometimes things don't work out. And if they don't work out, it's fine. If you're seeing that things are going downhill and you know this is not for me, or I need to do this a different way, then you know yourself well enough to know, you know your life well enough to know, you know your passion well enough to know if, okay, this is not the best decision. Because sometimes decisions can be good or bad, but sometimes it's what we do with the decision that gives us our results. So I'm also making sure that I'm growing and taking these things in and making sure that I'm applying them to my life as I am sharing them with you. Because one of the things that's important about our mindset is being decisive. Taking the risks that it's going to take to get us to that next level and that place of elevated living. And speaking of which, that's what you're on. Elevated Living at elevateme.org. I'm Jody Luster, or JL. And as always, I'm wishing you the very best of life. Talk to you soon.